Welcome to the Hawaii Fishing Gear Show. We are High Fish Gear, highfishgear.com in my hat. You guys know that we sell fishing hats on highfishgear.com? All the hats that I wear during this show are available on the website. I try to keep it fresh. I try to keep a little stash in rotation. But I also try not to accumulate too many because they get lost, they get dirty, they get shuffled. If you guys got questions about fishing, drop them in the comments right now while we're live. We'll do our best to respond to every question. There's also a few guys that volunteer and answer questions in the comments as well. So, real quick, just added to Instagram, we got a restock on a lure, and I made it a buy two get one free. This is the 1.4 ounce Papio Popper. I like this weight because a lot of you guys got that 2 ounce big bubble rod, and when you're tired of throwing bubbles or nothing's really biting the flies or the grubs and you want to throw on a lure, this is only 1.4 ounces. The big bubble is 1.9. So this little 5-inch lure, 1.4 ounce, good size 1 trebles, they float, and this way it's going to keep it off the reef. You're not going to get hung up. And it's got a big, huge cup face popper on it. Big splash. Big splash. Somebody was asking in the comments right now, say, can you make a video on how to retrieve it? I'll tell you right now. First thing you want to do is you want to cast it out. When it hits the water, you're going to get that nice big splash. As soon as it hits the water, you want to start reeling it in. This way it doesn't get hung up on anything, even if you're casting in deeper water. You're going to get tension on the line. You watch your line will be kind of slack, and as soon as you get tension, it'll perk up. It'll be nice and straight. As soon as you have that tension, do a nice swoop. Get that, practice it. When you're out there, do a nice little swoop. Big splash. Okay, it'll cast a big splash, a lot of clutter, like a lot of commotion, and then you just basically reel up the slack. And as soon as you get a nice tension again, reel it in, get a little wiggle on the retrieve. As soon as you get that tension, big splash again. It's called a jerk and pop, like a crank and, I don't even know. Somebody say that, what's that code? Crank and pop? There you go. Crank and pop. Crank, pop. Crank, pop. There you go. Also restocked, by the way, like I said, you add 3 to your cart. This one's called the Pinky Pop. Silver bottom, purple streak or pink streak down the side and a black top. The Pinky Pop, this one I call Akule. It's got a black back, little green and blue on the side with a silver bottom. And the last one is I call Opelu. That's a blue top, yellow side, silver bottom. 1.4 ounce, 5 inches, floating, big cup face popper. $9.99. You add 3 to the cart, $20 out the door. Available in store and online. Another thing restocked is Neoprene reel covers. This is the conventional reel cover. It is a neoprene case. Sometimes some reels you got to stretch them a little bit over. I had a general consensus of it. A lot of people like that snug fit for their reels. They don't like it bouncing around in the thing. They want it nice and snug. This is the large conventional cover, and inside this is a Hawaiian wide Pen 4.0. It fits the large one. I'll ramble off the most popular sizes. It fits the Pen 4.0 wide or the Hawaiian wide. It fits up to a Newell 550. You can do your 545. You can probably do a 546. 500 series Newell, Pen 4.0s, Torium 50s, no problem. The large one. The medium one, which is the smaller than the large, Torium 30, Jigmaster, Pen 3.0, Newell 300 to 400 series reels, all can fit the medium conventional reel cover. If you want that super loose fit, like some people like it being a little more room, they don't want to stretch it on like that. Some people will buy the large for like Torium 30s and stuff like that. But we also got restocked spinning, neoprene spinning reel covers. This inside here is Tony's Slammer 850. In case you're wondering where it was, your Pen Slammer 850. This is a large neoprene spinning reel cover. So if you got like a 8,000 size pen or like a 14 to 18,000 size Shimano, it'll fit in the large neoprene reel cover. there is an option to store it where it actually is made to go over the rod, but even with these big reels, it's not going to work over the rod. I have a 6K size Shimano Spheros in here, and yes, the large one can do it over the rod like that. It depends on how you want to store it, but for a large reel like the 8K size, you cannot really get it over the pole. But if you got like a 4K Stratic or something like that, the medium will work fine for that. So just off of the top of my head, reel sizes for the large, we have a small, medium, and large spinning reel covers. The small is going to be for your 3K up to 4K Shimano. The medium is going to be your 5K up to 6K Shimano. 4 up to 5 on the Pen. Daiwa, same thing, up to 4 on the Daiwa. There's a long list of compatible reels for the sizes. They're all pretty cheap. They're not too expensive. And I have a lot of experience with other companies' reel covers. In my personal opinion, I know I'm a little biased, but I'll be straight with you. The neoprene is thicker. The construction is similar. I feel like you get a better deal with our neoprene reel covers. Even if you're not necessarily into the High Fish Gear brand, the ones that we put out are solid. Okay, you can black that out with a marker if you like represent. But of course, we put our logo on all of them. All right, let's go ahead and get to your questions before. I forgot, I got to mention this. Today is the 28th of May. On the 30th, in case you haven't heard, we're doing a boat trip. In case you guys tagged your friend in the post earlier, in our story on Instagram, we announced the winner. Brandon, he's going to be bringing a guest. I chose the winner using an app. Brandon got chosen. He's going to be invited to bring a guest on our trip on Thursday. Thursday, out of Kewalo Basin in town, right across the street from where Ward Center used to be, there's a long stretch of charter boats. You're looking for the Sashimi 2. You can purchase your ticket online or you can purchase it here in the store. It's $125. It's an extended cruise from what the Sashimi 2 normally does. They usually have a 3-hour cruise. This is a 4-hour High Fish Gear only cruise. We rented the whole boat. It's a big, huge, comfortable boat. It's made for bottom fishing. They have all the gear you need on the boat. You can just walk in with your wallet, your phone, maybe a bottle of water, and some snacks for a good 4-hour excursion. They have the rods, the reels, the hooks, the lead, the bait. Everything you need will be included. You can bring your own gear up to 2 rods. They take you out to some nice little spots where you can test your skills and catch some bottom fish. Whatever you catch, you can keep as long as it's legal. Trust me, you're going to get plenty of anglers around there telling you, no. You cannot keep that. It's not legal. Just ask us if you got any questions. But it's a good outing. If you haven't been on a boat before, it's a good choice. If you have been on a boat before, but you want a nice little casual walk-on, walk-off kind of thing, the HFG Bottom Fishing Adventure is pretty cool. And there are still some seats available. More than half of the tickets are sold. And I think last time I checked, there's only 8 tickets left. If you were waiting till the last minute, go snag yours today. I'll post a link on Instagram. Let's go check out the questions on YouTube first. What's your go-to rig for a lure? I like paddling out my line. To be perfectly honest, I like paddling out my line. And I don't like using jugs. Not because I'm anti-jug. It's just for the way that I fish. I'm only dropping it off in like 8 to 10 feet of water here in Ewa Beach. I just drop my bait to the bottom and hope for the best. I use a longer lead line. This way it gives me a little bit of flow for my bait. But that's my go-to rig is a paddle out rig. There you go. How's the throw projection on that lure? I like the Cold Sniper's distance. These actually have ball bearing assist inside of it. So when you're loading it up, all the ball bearings go to the bottom. Helps you throw it out. Great cast on this lure. For $10 versus the $20 for a Cold Sniper, definitely worth a shot, brother. What's up, KB Prime? Heavy pulls are twitching for the poppers. Basically just a heavy pull, and then reel it up to catch up your line. Do another heavy pull. I would keep it in the water for a little while. When I say keep it in the water, every time you do a slash, it's basically a big splash out the front, and then it'll do a pause as you catch up the line. But when you do that once you hit the the jerk, you have slack in your line. Once you pick up, give it a little bit of medium retrieve before you pick it up, and then do another little pop. Try it over and over. I like to sometimes just do a slow retrieve. Let it kind of skim the surface. Maybe do a couple little spits. Nothing over the top. Not that big splash. But every time you do a big pop, it's kicking out water. It's causing a whole bunch of noise. If there's a papillo coming by, oh, what's that? They're gonna check it out, you know. All right. Got it. Crank and pop. What reel would you recommend for an ugly stick big water 10-foot, medium heavy 20 to 50 pound braid, 2 to 6 ounce lure rating? I would probably recommend an 8K Penn spinning reel. 8K Penn spinning reel or an 8K Daiwa spinning reel, either the BG, the Battle. You can go with the Fierce or the Pursuit. Even if you're on a budget, check out the 8K size Penn Raft 2. That's available on our website if you want to check it out. That'll pair up nicely with your 10-foot ugly stick. If you wanted to go down on the reel size, you could probably work with a 6, but I prefer the 8 over 6 when it comes to dunking because you get a good line capacity. Do you think rain shadow Aloha poles have a strong backbone and worth spending $600? Steven, that's not a question to ask somebody on the internet. That's a question to you. If you don't know what backbone you want in an Aloha pole, it's probably not a good idea to go straight to a $600 custom rod. Start off with an off-the-shelf rod like a medium heavy nitro, a Penn Carnage medium or medium heavy. Get an off-the-shelf rod for under $300. Play around with that and figure out what it is you want in a rod. Do you want something stiffer? Do you want something softer? Do you want something with a higher line capacity? Before you go off the deep end and pick up a custom rod, know what it is you're looking for in a rod. My personal opinion on a rain shadow, for me, not worth spending $600, but that's for me. I felt rain shadows before. You know, there's different rods, there's different actions on the rods that they sell. I'm just not really into spending $600 on a rod I'm not familiar with. So the best thing is, if you need to ask that question, it might not be a good time for a custom rod. The guys that go deep into custom rods, that know what they're getting into, they already know what they want from a rod and they can feel it in a blank. If you don't know what you're looking for in a blank, don't join that club of people who have dropped thousands of dollars in custom rods just to get it to the beach and realize, oh, shitty for you. Okay? It's not made for the way that you cast. Sometimes the blanks even behave a little different when they're loaded with gear. All right? Hopefully that helps you out, Steven. All right. How do you retrieve jig par lures once it hits the bottom? You never really want to let that jig hit the bottom, okay? You want to kind of get your spacing right. Don't let it hit the bottom, because all you're asking for is, oh, another jig stuck. There's $6 to $8 down the drain. All right? You want to kind of space it. Try to get it close to the bottom, but jig it up. How to retrieve the jig par lures. You can try a lot of different techniques. You can try a pop up and down. You imagine what the lure is doing. Once it gets closer to the boat, or once it gets closer to the shoreline, do that action so you can see what the action of the lure is when you do it. Certain jigs will have kind of a little swim on the way up. So you want to kind of adjust your speed. Watch it when it gets close to you so you can check out what it does at different speeds when you're retrieving. Hopefully that answers your question a little bit. Short casting, not from boat. Okay. Short casting, jigs. I would tell you, from short casting, depends on where you're at. If you're in deeper water, a lot of guys will cast it out 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. You want to try to get it close to the bottom. You can actually, maybe on your first couple casts, cast it out to where you're going to cast it. Count it. 1,000. When it hits the water, 1,000, 2,000. When it stops pulling out line, that means it's on the bottom. There you know. You got, say if it takes 1,000 and it stops pulling line, 8 seconds from the top to the bottom. If you get your lure back from that first cast, you can count it 1,000, 2. Stop at 1,000 and start reeling it in. That's what a lot of guys will do with flash bombs, jigs, and stuff like that. All right. What's the rundown on the Surface Seducer? I have no idea what the Surface Seducer is, brother. I apologize. I don't even know what that is off the top of my head. Maybe Wallace will tell me on Instagram. All right. Before times when no more drone, you think more Ulua? No. You know what? Yeah, I get a lot of people saying there used to be more fish. Okay, I don't think that there is less fish. I can tell you right now that I think the fish are further out. Okay, the fish are still there. People go diving and swimming, and they say they see choke fish. I don't know why catch fish. Get plenty of fish in the ocean. I seen them when I go diving. They're further out. Okay, and my suggestion to you is that if you are anti-paddle out, I get it. Learn to cast further, practice, work harder, try different spots, uh, or try the same spot with different bait. Try using bait that you catch right there. Try using fresher bait. Try using frozen bait. Try using rotten bait. Try change of bebs. There's a whole bunch of different things you can do to adjust it. But the main thing is, don't get too in your head about it. Just go fish. All right. All right. Let me scroll up to the top of Instagram because I'm going to be catching all the questions on the way down. Here we go. Let me check the questions. I saw one from the governor. Best pound test for dunking. Oh, thank you very much. Here we go. Double barrel surface seducers. I'm gonna give you a little. Those are the little popper heads. We'll get to that in a second. Best pound test for dunking for Aluas. Minimum 25 pound test. My personal opinion, minimum 25 pound test monofilament. Okay? If you're gonna go bait casting Alua pole, minimum 40 pound test monofilament. Slide bait, minimum 60 pound test monofilament. Okay? That's my suggestion. Minimum. You can go higher if you like to, but there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. If I wanted to put something up for the consignment auction on Saturday, how would that work? Okay, not Alex MP. Number one, you have to have a Facebook account. Well, that's to participate. But I guess you could send me some pictures of what it is you want to auction. I'll tell you whether or not I'm interested in it. If it's just a bunch of kind of like garage sale, mix and match stuff, I may tell you I'll pass. But if it's some nice high-end stuff, the kind of stuff that I really like, talking up, like the two Trinidad 30, gold Trinidad 30As that somebody dropped off today, that'll be auctioned this Saturday. Yeah, I said it. Trinidad 30As, golds, 30s, in decent shape, 5 out of 10. I already rated them. You send me pictures. I'll let you know if it's worth bringing in. We put them up for auction. You gotta be not so much attached to what you get for them. If you're like, bro, I get too much money in these. I gotta get this certain amount. I don't want it. I don't want that stress. If it's something that's just laying around, ready to go, you're familiar with our auctions and you know that some items do better than others, some items tank, don't do well. If you're good with whatever you're gonna get, bring that kind of stuff. Send me a DM with pictures of what you got. I'll tell you whether or not to bring it in. We sell it. I take 15% of whatever it sells for. If it sells for $100, I get 15. You get 85. All right. What's a whipping rod and reel do you recommend? Akko BJ. If you want a good starter rod, almost perfect starter rod, Shimano Scimitar 9 foot with the 4K reel, available on our website. Scimitar? Yeah, I think that's right. SYMET. It's on the website. Start typing in SYM. It'll pop right up. It's a 9 foot rod rated up to 1.5 ounces with a 4K reel. Spool that reel with 15 pound test braid or 12 pound test monofilament. You're going to be good to go. That is a great starter rod for $110. It'll tell you, not everybody else, you what you're actually looking for in a whipping rod. Do you want something heavier? Do you want something lighter? Do you want something longer? Do you want something shorter? Do you want a bigger reel, smaller reel? Are you going to be targeting different species of fish? It'll get you a great starting point to figure out what your final rod is going to wind up being. Just got the Pen Pursuit 4 combo, 10 foot heavy AK, good for dunking or some plugging. Not for plugging. You're going to kill your arm with that setup. That setup is a surf rod meant for dunking. All right? It is a great dunking combo. It's one of the combos that we sell here at the shop. Cherry. Great for dunking. Not for plugging. Way too freaking heavy. You're going to have to see one physical therapist for your shoulder later. All right? Or you're going to have to call in sick the weekend after you. What's up, Bailey? Went plugging the other day, and now my Gosa is stuck on my cross stitch. Any tips on how to get the reel seat loose? Okay, so that reel seat is going to be graphite. My suggestion to you is do the ice bag trick. Fill up 2 Ziploc bags with ice. Okay, put one bag on the bottom of the reel seat in the reel. Put the other bag on the other. You're making an ice sandwich. That is a graphite reel seat. The coldness will help you shrink down the reel seat. After about 10 to 15 minutes, don't get impatient. Let it sit there for 10 to 15 minutes. After that, take the ice bags away and try unscrew it. Okay? Hopefully that works, Bailey. If it doesn't work, let me know. I'll try to offer some other suggestions. When you are whipping with a bubble, is a grub better than a fly? You are going to get more bites, more nibbles in any kind of fish with the grub versus the fly. The fly, you're not going to notice a bigger hookup ratio, but when it hits that fly, it will wind up being bigger than most of the fish that you catch on a grub. Not saying you cannot catch big fish with grub, but the bigger fish tend to go for the flies, all right? You'll get less hookups and less bites with the fly, but when something finally does hit that fly, it will be bigger on average. Okay. Who won? I think I already told you. Brandon won. We posted it in our story on Instagram. All right. When whipping with a bubble, I think I already answered that question. What is a good hook size for sand turtle? Depends on if you're going like smaller pound test or if you're going to crowd the hook with sand turtles like Danny. But I would say size 12 to 14 is pretty good for the sand turtle. BKN. All right. TN50 fits. Yeah, the TN50 will fit in that for sure. All right. Let's see. What's your best catch using Ika? Caught Uku on Ika before. Was pretty cool. I like Ika. I like Ika all around because Ika is easy to get as opposed to having to spend the day hunting down taco. Whether hunting it yourself, diving for it, or trying to blow up your phone trying to find taco around the island. Okay. Any more posters coming up on auction? Maybe not. Not sure. All right. Okay. And I think I'm almost down. Jugs are great if you're responsible. Anything's great if you're responsible. You just can't trust the general public to be always responsible. You can't always trust everybody to show aloha spirit or common sense. But you can practice it every day. You can do it yourself. You can show aloha. You can practice common sense. That's what I always tell everybody. You cannot expect aloha or common sense from other people, but you can give it. You can give it and you can demonstrate it. All right. How much pound test would you use for your leader line for aloha? If I was slide baiting, probably 200 pound test minimum. If I was just bait casting, 60 to 80 on the leader. All right. 50 minimum on the leader for bait casting. Can you use lead and fly? You can, but only if you've mastered the lead. If you can cast lead and curly tails and not get hung up as much as most beginners, then you're probably going to be all right for lead and fly. My suggestion is if you're just starting off, yes, lead will get you closer to the reef, but yes, the lead will get you hung up a lot more and cause you to lose that $12 to $15 fly. Go with the bubble until you get them down. All right? Let me see. Would a Shimano Spheros 8K pair well with a 12-foot heavy battalion? No. I think that the 8K is going to be maybe a little too small if you plan on using it for dunking. If you're going to go with the 8K Shimano, maybe go with a 10-foot rod if you plan on using it for dunking or plugging, or maybe even a 9-foot rod. The 8K is not as big as you think. The 8K pen, a little bit better for that rod right there. Okay. If I wasn't clear, send me a DM. I'll elaborate. Okay. What audio interface do you using for your live streams, or does your mic plug directly into PC? So, for those that want to know, we're running a mic setup. We got a mic setup, we got a splitter, a little channel thing, we've got a streaming service that we're using. While you're watching on Instagram, you're on my phone. All right. Thank you guys. Mahalo everybody for giving me an excuse to like justify grabbing a brand new iPhone 15 Pro. Not the Max. I don't like the big phones. That's redonkulous. But we're using on Instagram. You're going through my iPhone, but on YouTube and all that other stuff, we're using a Canon camera for our regular camera. We're using Shure microphones. We got a nice channel mixer, streaming service that gives us a whole bunch of stuff. The same thing for our auctions as well. Okay, shoreline jigs, take the trebles off and do assist hooks. Reduces snags. Not a bad point. So shoreline casting, a lot of times you'll see some of these jigs come with the little trebles on the butt. That probably will be the hook that gets caught the most. Use the assist hooks that kind of go off the front of the hook and rest about midway through the jig. Those will actually probably reduce the hookup. Plus it's more of a circle and less of an open J with the trebles. All right. Planning questions today. Okay, and I think I got to that ones about the drone and the lure. Whipping technique for grubs. It depends on what you're using as your cast assist. The cast assist is going to depend on, when I say cast assist, bubble, lead, hammer bomb. Those are what depends on your retrieve technique. If you're using a bubble, pop it. If you're using a lead, maybe do a little slash and stuff like that. The lead's not really going to give you that splash action, but it will get closer to that. The hammer bombs will give you the splash. You can do a bubble action, or you can do a little bounce off the bottom. All right. Off the island shit. Let's see. Giant trevally is considered least concern on our population. There's fish everywhere. Just got to find spots that aren't pressured as much. There are many factors. Just keep it simple, stupid. Have worked. Okay. Hunting fire. There you go. Slow and low catches everything from moi to oeo to nice size papio for me, but I'm specifically targeting papio. I go on faster retrieves. Good replies to that. What happened to the pink and orange tight line braid? I think we just settled on certain colors, but Salty Levi, if you want me to bring back pink, I will, just for you, buddy. All right. You were the only one buying pink tight line braid, bro. If you miss it a lot, brother, I will bring it back just for you. Okay. I see you guys. A lot of chit-chat going. Aloha, Bill. Do you carry 3-piece rods for whipping? We do carry... we only have 4-piece rods for whipping. Those are going to be the cross-stitch travel rod series from Major Craft. 4-piece rods. When will the Tiburon frames be in stock again? Number 1, sign up for notifications on the specific one that you ordered. We should be getting a Tiburon order sometime this summer. All right? And I do use you guys' notifications to tell me which one to try to bring in more, okay? Okay. Am I almost down on the bottom? Nope. I might have to skip some of your questions because I'm already at 27 minutes. Let me go ahead and read YouTube, and I'm going to say aloha. Should I run rub line or just run main line to swivel? Okay. That is a tough question. If you like just chill and relax, if you're fishing someplace that you're familiar with, just tie off to the swivel. Rub line is pro level stuff. Okay, if you're gonna be slide baiting from a hammer spot, rub line. Okay, if you're just going casually, you're only gonna be there for a couple hours, and you like just get wet, you like go out in the water, tie them to the swivel. You good. If you're just starting off, don't get too complicated with rub line and bimini twist and all that stuff. Just tie it off to the swivel. Have some fun. If you snap, if something breaks off, something fails, hey, you're learning your lessons. Maybe next time you go fishing that spot with that bait, maybe run rub line. But in the meantime, just go get your stuff wet. Don't be concerned about all that pro level stuff. If you're saying if you're pro level, you shouldn't even have to ask the question. You already know when you're gonna need rub line or not need rub line. I tell you right now, just go fish, have fun, tie off to the swivel. You're gonna be all right. I have caught 30 pound plus ulua, tied off to an 80 pound test, to a 3-way swivel, to a 125 pound test leader. She was good. And I've caught 20 pound ulua the same way. Personal experience, okay? Haven't had too much failure in that aspect, but when you go some hammer spot, you gotta have hammer gear. All right. What's a good boat rod for bottom fishing to pair with the Stella 6K? Johnny Wihara? You probably want to get yourself a nice 6 to 7 foot rod, rated up to, I would say, 3 to 4 ounces, so you can do some damashi fishing. I don't have anything in stock right now, but you probably want to look into the Shimano Travalas, which are nice jigging rods. All right. Browse the Shimano websites or Shimano fish.shimano.com. Find a rod that pairs up nice with your 6K. If you need a little input, send me an email. I'll help you choose something. And I can even special order for you if they have it available. Ika falls off when I cast, not really a fan. XN IPR, try our little elastic line. If you're having trouble with the Ika falling off, do that little elastic line around the Ika, wrap it around your hook. It'll help you. All right? What kind of products do you use for your beard? Asking for a friend. I use conditioner for my wife and my daughter. I do a little beard conditioner every once in a while. Just their extra hair conditioner, the one they don't like the smell, maybe like once or twice a month, I'll do a little conditioner. But the rest of the time, it's just regular shampoo. Good to go. All right. I think that's it. I gave you guys 30 minutes. 30 minutes of yapping about fishing. Bruh, you better leave a like on this video. I'm going to find you. I'm going to find you and flick your nuts. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Please leave a like on the video. Just to recap, Neoprene reel covers back in stock. Buy one, get one free on the 1.4 ounce Papio poppers. And I gotta answer the question. What was the question about the... If you had questions about these guys, the little Papio thing, or what are they called? The surface seducers. Send me the question via DM or email, sales@highfishgear. I'll do my best to respond to it. I think they're just basically, they're little cup face poppers for your flies. Retrieve style, you got to keep in mind that these are foam and they're going to float it. So these flies will now be running on the top of the surface. You just do a little pop like you would a little baby lure. But keep in mind, you're usually going to have the bubble. Hopefully that answers your question. And if it doesn't, send me a DM or an email. Aloha, everybody. And I'm still on YouTube. Hold on one second. Jonathan Barnes. Is braided line still good if it's been on a reel unused for over 6 months? Spooled with tight line 30-pound test. Jonathan, if that's your reel, yeah, it's fine. 6 months is fine. If it's somebody else's reel you bought used, switch it out. If you don't know where it came from, you didn't put that line on there, switch it out just to be safe. All right? Doesn't the elastic make the bait seem less natural? It seems a lot better when it's on the hook as opposed to flying off your hook when you're casting. Just saying. All right, XP9. Aloha, everybody.